9 tricks that you can only do in the new 1.20.3 Minecraft version. Hello there, Ray here, and Minecraft just released a brand new full release version. A new version means there's new things you can do in your world, so let's take a look at the 9 coolest ones. First up is one that's a bit confusing to understand. That's because this version also has access to experimental features, but you'll have to turn them on if you want them in your world. This includes the 1.21 features, the villager trading nerf, and bundles. Let's quickly take a look at what each of these turn on. The one called Update 1.21 will put in the new trial chamber structures hidden underneath of your world, which have the new trial spawner. This is where you can spawn in the new breeze and get the new trial key, and you get the new copper and tough blocks, and where you can get the crafter block where you can automatically craft stuff using a small amount of redstone. The one called Villager Trading Rebalance. When turned on, villagers will only provide certain types of trades depending on what type of biome they're a part of, and it comes with additional trades for wandering traders. And the bundle one will give you access to bundles. Bundles are an early game storage system where you can hold many individual items in a single one. Now that confusion's out of the way, let's take a look at those tricks that are on by default in this version. First up is my looting through Nether Portal trick as it now works. So by sending projectiles like these rockets over into the overworld, we can kill stuff and we can get the extra loot with our looting sword as well as the XPs. I'll be doing a separate video about these new cool farms, so make sure you're subscribed. And with cheats enabled, you can access a new command, the tick command, where you can slow down the game so you can see how stuff is working. It's also great for freezing the game and then making the game move only when you want it to, so you can see how fast things happen. They made it so you could put at least a stack of one type of thing inside of the decorative pots. To get it out, you have to break down the pot or shatter it, dropping the clay as well as the item. Projectiles can also hit them and break them open. They also work with hoppers where they put stuff in as well as pull stuff out, and you can read how much is inside them using comparators. The next one is hidden messages that you can have floating in midair. This is because they added it so that we can now name minecarts and boats, and they will actually show their name above them when they're placed on the ground. Not only can you use this to label things similar to labeling items inside of item frames, but I came up with a way to have the name show up without actually seeing the boat. So the way I did this is by hiding the actual boat. If we turn on hitboxes by pressing F3B, we can see that there is a little bit of the boat actually showing just above this block here, but the majority of it is hiding underneath. So you can't actually see the boat, but you can see what the game considers the boat, which is this white box here. As long as you're looking at the white boxes of anything that is named, then the name will actually show up, but if you're not looking at it, then it'll vanish. You can see that I used a bamboo boat. That's because a bamboo boat appears to be lower than a normal boat, despite them actually really being the same height. So using this, I had the very top of it just barely sticking out, where the rest of the visual part is hiding underneath the blocks. To get this precise height, I had to combine it with other entities. So to do this, you'll find a spot that has a wall on one side and then dig down 3 blocks. Then in the bottom, we're going to place in a rail with a minecart on top of that. And then go ahead and ride boats on top of the minecart. So we're going to do 1 boat, 2, and 3. And then the 4th one, we need to make sure is actually a bamboo raft that is named whatever you want it to be named, and that way it shows up above it. Then we want to hide the majority of the boat. We're going to do this by pushing in blocks to make it look natural. Then we're going to return this back to the way it looked before, and we're also going to place in some blocks over here and push these in downwards so it covers up the oars that stick out of the boat. And we're also going to use some natural looking blocks so all of it's hidden but a little bit of it. Now you can go ahead and click on the boat and ride it outwards. Now the next part, we have to align the boat so it looks natural. So click on it, try moving it around a little bit until you can hide the oars inside of the wall. Now with the bottom as well as the oars being completely hidden from the outside, and if you don't have your hitboxes turned on, when somebody comes walking across this, there's just going to be a floating name there. If you don't want the text to be hidden inside of the block, you can use a shorter block in the background, like here I'm using daylight sensors, which barely hide the oars. With the night vision, it makes it brighter. Without it, it becomes darker. You can do something similar using the tall hitbox of the llama, whereby rename it you can get a cool message, but you gotta be careful because the llama will move its head around, so it's not completely hidden, and it also makes noises, unlike the boats. But this actually is functional besides just looking cool. You can actually click onto this boat here. By clicking on the boat here and dismounting, you can go into a secret hidden passageway. So you could choose to even have no name on the boat so that only you know where to click in order to get into your secret base. You can also use a boat hidden underneath some other blocks in order to click and dismount to get back out again without even having to have an entranceway. They also added so you can rename arrows, and when those arrows are shot off, they can be picked up and they will continue to keep their name. This means that if you would happen to die from arrows that are named, in the death message they will show the renaming of them rather than saying that they were arrows. But you can always hover over top to see exactly what it was that kills you. They also made it so that the Wither's blue Wither Skulls won't downgrade to black ones when being unloaded. This makes my Wither Quarry more productive. And you can combine this with my trick where Withers won't pathfind off of the pillar to have the Wither be bored and shoot off a whole bunch of blue Wither Skulls, which are going to stop and pile up at the edge of our loaded chunks. We can AFK as long as we want to let as many as we want pile up, and then by loading certain directions, we can make all the blue Wither Skulls, which were unloaded at the edge of the chunk, continue flying in that direction. And the longer you AFK, the more massive your wall of Wither Skulls will be when you load more chunks, such as increasing your render distance. Then they'll go flying through the sky, destroying anything they hit, as blue Wither Skulls can destroy stuff that normally can't be destroyed, such as obsidian and even water and lava. So if AFK'd long enough, you can actually make a perimeter. I also looked through all the different bug fixes that came out with this version and couldn't find any prominent discontinues or rare items to collect before updating, so you should be fine to update your world. If you want to see all the different types of rares and discontinued items in the game, check out this playlist here. And you can help me out for free just by remembering to use your free Twitch sub, which comes with Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, to subscribe to me over at Twitch each and every month, but there's no extra charge to you. And Twitch will pay me the full amount, which is a great way for you to support me. And I have a link in the description which will walk you through it. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!